Good afternoon. I finally got that roast done. And let me get it out of the pan and I'll show you it. We'll get ready to make the gravy. I tell you, the big spatula is so handy. This is what it looks like. It's done. Isn't that a beautiful roast? It smells delicious. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually get the gravy going on this. It's still warm, so they always recommend when you do cook a roast, after it's done cooking and you take it out of the oven, put some foil over it and give it a good 20-30 minutes to calm the juices down so the juices don't keep on spilling as you cut it. It'll be squirting out. This way it has time to settle back into the meat so it's not so dry. Phew! Oh, goodness gracious. Now these are my drippings. Oh, let's see, I got a pocket here. I need a measuring cup. Phew! Now this is going to have good flavor in it. Now, we've talked about saturated and unsaturated fats. You know, the ones that you need. And this one is not a healthy one. So this is where we're going to end up making the gravy with the seasonings, but we're going to put lecithin in it to eat the fat up, or at least neutralize the fat so it won't be so hard on the system. Forgive me, I've been sneezing. Oh. So let me get something out and we'll get it started. I'm also going to be using stock in it. My nose keeps on. I think I want to use sage and rosemary as a seasoning, and of course salt and pepper will go into it. But I think sage and rosemary will be nice. Not the ground sage, but the leaves of sage. Rosemary, PQR rosemary. We'll definitely need more salt and pepper. And put the seasonings behind you. As you can see, there's a lot of fat in here. Okay, I think that's enough. Depends upon how much gravy, but whatever you have in the fat, you're going to put equal amounts of flour. That is the ratio. Now I can give you a basic one. It's usually to make 2 cups of gravy. It would be actually a stick of butter or 8 tablespoons, the equal amount of flour, then 2 cups for the gravy. This is a ratio, very standard ratio for gravies. I know people say put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but the ratio is actually the flour and the fat are the same, okay? And then according to how thick you want it, you keep on adding liquid, be it milk, stock, whey, water, whatever you're using. But the ratio for making a gravy is equal amounts of fat and flour. Now you know I have stocks. I've got stocks all over the house. I've got them all at my poor bathroom. It's loaded with candy. Oh. I do so much. See, it's still a good stock. You can smell them and they have such great flavors. All right, so let me get some flour in here and heat this up. So, okay. sorry, I would like to tell you what I did, but I was just squirting into it, but I think it's about, I should measure it for you. Hold on, to give you a better idea. Just estimating, it's not gonna help you. So let's see how much I got here, and then you'll know how much I'm gonna be making. I've got just about 1/4 of a cup, so I'll take it up to 1/4 of a cup. That will definitely be, 1/4 of a cup is 4 tablespoons. Okay? So there, we use 1/4 a cup of the fat, so you can actually see. So, we use this for, you see, I'll hold these drippings so I can make a different gravy later on. I won't have any problems with it. But I get tired of people sitting there, oh, you just add this and this. And I know some of you who don't know how to do it. That doesn't help you. You need to know these ratios. I had to memorize these ratios. I mean, if you ask me for the ratio of making the cream cheese for macaroni and cheese, I have it down. I know my coffee ratios. I had to learn all these ratios and remember them because they're the standard, and from the standard you build up on them into any direction that you wish to go. This is how cooking works. Now, you notice I'm letting the fat get hot because what we're going to have to do is we have to cook. I'll use white flour this time. Sometimes I use whole wheat. I'm very versatile on which flours I'll use. But today I'll just use all purpose. Now the reason you're going to cook this flour is you want to cook the rawness out of it. That's the whole trick of this thing. Is you're actually cooking the rawness of the flour, because you're not going to eat flour like this because you can taste the rawness in gravies and stuff. So what you have to do is you have to cook it, and that's the whole object of you browning it. And if you don't mix it up thoroughly, you'll have lumps in your gravy. That's why I use a whisk. It's so much easier. Now the fat is hot and it's ready to cook that flour, and you'll actually smell it toasting, just like toast, which is really nice. Most people say, well, how could you tell? It's actually, you can smell it. It actually smells toast, just like toast. But you'll have the underlining of the pork because you do have pork fat in it. It's beef, you'll have the smell of the beef, but you'll still smell the toast. But when you make macaroni and cheese, it's just butter and the flour, and it's called a roux. This is called a roux that we're making right now before we add the liquid to move it into a gravy. You will smell definitely the flour as toast. So the proper terminology for this is called a roux right here, when you add the fat and the flour together and you're cooking it. And all of this is called drippings when it comes from a roast. No problem, that is the proper terminology. I'm going to pour this to where I want my gravy to be. Oh, shoot. Hang that up. That is fat. That is not the chicken, 18th century chicken. Sorry about that. Wrong one. Let's start over again. Thank God I got a lot of chickens. I'll be right back. Okay, wrong bottle. That's what you call a big boo-boo. But that's all right. Okay. This one will check better. Stop. Oh my goodness, don't worry, I got another pan. I have no problems with this one. I'll pour this into a measuring cup. Just throw it out. And we'll start again. I have my days. I am not free from not having my days. Okay, I don't want to kick this flour off. You are going in the trash. So you can sit there. Okay, I know this pan's hot. Okay, try this again. 1/4 cup again. Oh my goodness. See, at least I have a lot of drippings. I don't have to worry. We're going to start all over. You turn your flame on and you're going to put your fat in here from the fork. Then get that measuring back out. Put that in a jar of fat further in the back, but I guess I didn't. Okay, we're going to let that cook. I would put seasonings in at this point, but I don't want them to burn. I want to get the oil out, but I don't want to sit there and burn them. They will burn at this point. That is a waste. It's not toasted yet. I'm waiting for the toasting of it. Still too hot to put in the trash. You'll also notice that your flour turns this light brown. Now I know this is stock. I don't know how thick you want your gravy to be. So I'm not gonna tell you how much to pour in. You're gonna have to judge that on your own. Some people like it thick gravy, some people like it thin. So it's just a matter of choice here. Just make sure that it doesn't burn on the bottom because you don't want that burn taste. I have sage leaves here that I'm going to be using. I usually just find sage ground to powder, which I don't like. Now what you're doing at this point is you're turning the flame down because it's thickening up, but you want to heat the herbs up so those aromas and the oils of them, even though they're dehydrated, you want to bring that flavor out, and that's what we're working on right now. If it's too thick, add some more stock. If it's too thin, let it cook a bit to thicken up. Do not add raw flour after you've already made the gravy to, because what you're gonna do is that, because you wanna thicken it up, because you said, oh, I've got it too thin. If you add the flour, you're gonna have that raw taste of flour in the back of everybody's throat. Oh, my yeast is growing. That's the one I'm gonna dehydrate. I want to put some garlic powder in it. Ginger, mustard, garlic, that's how we make gravy, and we're getting ready to add lecithin into this to cut that fat down. Now I know it's granular, but it's going to smooth out and get real smooth. And I'm going to add a tablespoon in, it should do it. So what you have to do is let the gravy get hot, and the lecithin will dissolve into it, it won't stay. as a lump. And if you don't believe lecithin does this, all you have to do is heat some fat up or pour, and it's hot, and then sit there and pour the lecithin into it, and you'll watch it just disappear. That's how good it is. Needs more salt. And the lecithin's already liquefying. And that's how I make gravy, and because I know this fat isn't healthy, I sit there. I know I got a whole cup there. I do it like this, and then I compensate for it so I can enjoy the gravies when we do have them. Do-do-do-do. And here it is. That's how you make, that's how I make gravy, and that's how I use lecithin to compensate it for my family. That first part I did mess up, didn't I? That grease. Take care. Bye-bye.